evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue. However, this is a special interview with a special guest from Washington, Her Excellency Madame Christine Lagarde, who is the Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund that we used to call the IMF. She's on a state visit, and we had the honor to have her on our special interview for a short time. And we hope to have a good discussion with her on issues relating to the global economic situation. And of course, from there, we'll try to see how we can get some lesson learned from her as it pertains to the regional economic integration in ASEAN. And I hope that we also have an opportunity to listen to a few of her recommendations as pertain to Cambodia economic development, how we're doing, and what are the programs that the IMF is doing in Cambodia. And at the end, I would want to touch on the issue on the role of the youth in the context of developing Cambodia. But if there's enough time, I would definitely want to hear her recommendation, how she sees what the royal government of Cambodia could do in terms of bringing inclusive growth for this country. Madame Lagarde, welcome to Cambodia. I'm so glad that you have the opportunity to finally visit Cambodia. You have, from the schedule, very busy. You met the Prime Minister. Tomorrow you can meet His Majesty the King. Wow, that's quite an exciting time. But I don't want to miss the opportunity to capture some of your wisdom. And perhaps you can help us a bit, in the context. Recently, we're a little bit worried what's happening in the U.S., in Europe, China, Japan, all this global development, U.S. government shutdown. What do you see this global risk and how it does affect the global economy?
Well, let me first of all say that I'm really overjoyed to be finally in Cambodia. It's an old dream come true, and a year ago I was hoping to come. I could not make it at the time of the ASEAN summit, but I'm even happier to be here this time because it's only for Cambodia.
Yes, indeed.
And it's been so far a really, really fascinating visit, diving into the past of Cambodia,
yes,
looking at the most recent tragedy, and now also really sharing my views with the views of entrepreneurs, the views of the authorities, yes, including your Prime Minister.
Yes.
So you asked me about the international situation,
the outlook,
the global economy,
yes,
and the outlook.
Yes, yes.
We are seeing a changing picture at the
yes,
moment, with growth, being relatively slow. Mm-hmm. Not even at 3% this year, and we forecast at 3.5% next year.
Oh,
so slightly better,
yeah,
improving, but with a different dynamics.
Yes, yes.
We are seeing the advanced economies picking up a bit,
all right,
finally, and we are seeing some of the emerging market economies that were driving growth slowing down.
China, India,
Brazil? Russia, Brazil, China to a lesser extent. Yeah. So this is quite an interesting phenomenon. With the large advanced economies picking up, the US is going to deliver, growth at about 1.6% this year, probably 2.6% next year.
Yes.
Europe turning the corner at last,
yeah,
providing, positive growth next year. Mm-hmm. Japan improving significantly with this very innovative set of new policies, and the low-income countries,
I see,
still holding strongly and having resisted the crisis, including the latest trepidations about the tapering of unconventional monetary policy,
yes, indeed,
stronger than the emerging market economies. So that's the picture as we see it. There is one very concerning matter which does not affect Cambodia so much.
I see.
And that is unemployment across the world, particularly in advanced economies. We have about 220 million people looking for jobs at the moment, and the economic growth at about 3%, and particularly in the advanced economies,
yes,
is not enough to respond to the needs of particularly the young people joining the workforce.
And the impact could be, what could be the likely impact of that if employment are not resolved?
Well, it varies depending on the demographics and the evolution of the working population. But you have countries in Southern Europe, countries in North Africa, the Arab countries in transition, that are really suffering as a result of their young population not integrating the job market. So the risk of instability is there and needs to be addressed by the best possible response to create jobs, and that is growth.
You know, Cambodia, I mean, I'm jumping a bit here, but because we're a dollarized economy, and whenever something's happened in the U.S., particularly the recent U.S. government shutdown a bit, it caused a lot of worry in our case. And does that, you know, affect the confidence in growth in a developing country, the fact that you have this issue in the U.S.?
First of all, any uncertainty, wherever, hurts the economy. Because economic agents like certainty.
Indeed.
So when you have issues about the debt ceiling, about the fiscal cliff, about the long-term trends of fiscal policies, it creates uncertainty. So it's not good for the economy. If you add to that the hint of tapering of the unconventional monetary policy, then that creates uncertainty around the world. And people who have invested, who have moved capital to particularly the emerging market economies in search of high yield, begin to worry. So they remove capital to relocate to safer places where they think that the long-term interests will rise. And that's what we've seen in the summer of 2013. It has tampered a bit, but it will come back, and we need to be prepared for that.